but we do have that guy against Jeremy Flip here in the top lane. Savape against Box Milk in the mid lane. Ishan versus Black Oreo Cookies in the mid lane. I said jungle. Phil, did I say mid lane for Box Milk and Savape? I meant jungle for that. I'm lost. I'm losing it. Dual Impulse and Troll the Noob in the bot lane against Catnator and XDME. It's gonna be real interesting seeing a bunch of diamond players on on one team.
So blind predictions.
Blind predictions. That guy would actually kill me if I didn't go with his team. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go with that.
So should I stand against you again, or?
I mean, it'd be boring if you agreed with me.
Cool.
You're allowed to agree
all
with
right.
me. You still have to go against me.
I'll stick with NG Blossom. Right.
I don't know. So far, we've seen like in the first game that I've casted today, I've seen the veteran team kind of yeet themselves today. So we'll see how this goes.
Cenobane came down for Catinator. Lulu Band.
Senna and Lulu bands. Again, I'm not like overly familiar with the new teams just yet, so we'll see when time goes on. But we did see a Volibear band who just got his rework, who I think as a jungler is pretty strong right now. I wouldn't say he's like top tier or anything, but it's just like once he hits 6, he becomes a really strong damage threat. But he lost a lot of the tankiness I think he used to have.
I think
with the way that his passive was.
Lulu is banned to stop Catinator from playing Kog'Maw. I can see that he practiced Kog'Maw for a couple of games. That guy picking up Aatrox.
Supposedly that's what he's been playing lately, and I do know him, so I mean, hopefully it looks a lot better than its solo queue game. I'm kidding. But but Aatrox into Jeremy Flip's hope possible Mordekaiser is going to be something fun to see, especially since Aatrox generally wins that matchup.
Yeah, I'm so sad to see that the Volibear is banned. I was keeping my hopes up, but not a chance.
Chat seems to be going wild over my comments. I don't know how I feel about this, but with the Thresh and Kled bans, Kled who holds a huge global pressure and is actually one of the few champions that can beat Aatrox. It's wonderful.
Kane coming down for Box Milk.
Now, with the way that Kane is, even though he just got that like slight nerf, overall he's been like hugely buffed, and I think he's absurdly strong. And if you ever play with me, you would always see Morgana banned because that champion is just not fun to play against. But with the Zac, Aatrox, and Morgana, they do have plenty of CC and damage so far. So let's see what they round out with the 80 carry later on.
They're already picking the team fight comp.
Their team fight's kind of strong, like really strong right now. And once again,
Poppy coming down, so that should be Poppy support? It's been a while since I saw Poppy coming into the game.
Yeah, Poppy's not a very popular support, but she actually counters both Zac and Aatrox in that aspect, where she puts her W up and it makes it very difficult for, well, Aatrox just simply can't do his combo and Zac can't jump in if she pops it at the right time. So she does very well, especially in these matchups where she's a huge tank in frontline for her team and can disengage a lot of fights extremely easily, giving with her ultimate.
Felios banned for Dual Impulse.
Unfortunately, we cannot seem to change the names right now, that are on stream. But just as a reminder, we are seeing Trigger Happy on the blue side here, and NG Blossom on the red.
NG Blossom used 3 of their band cards on 80 carry, so I'm looking forward to see what Dual Impulse can show us.
Kai'Sa's still on the table, and so is Vayne, who would be very good into their team comp. But we also see a Varus, who also does pretty well into their team comp if he is on hit. I cannot see the lethality build coming into clutch here, especially if especially if Trigger Happy picks up another tank or another bruiser that can soak a lot of damage that actually will be building armor. I have to get used to calling them Trigger Happy because I'm used to calling them Martin Cabela right now.
Kai's actually coming down, so
I did say the Kaisa was a good pick here.
yep, that is true.
What did we see? What are we gonna see for the mid laner? I want to see the mid laner. Mid laner.
If they-
What round on the top?
They can't pick, so
Ha!
it's Morgana mid.
Morgana mid? It's gonna be real interesting. I haven't seen a lot of Morgana mid lately, although it is supposedly pretty good because she can wave clear pretty well with her W and the binds are still as potent as ever. But, and then when you combine it with Zac and I guess like anybody else on their team, like any combination of Morgana is going to be very strong, but rounding out their comp with a Galio can prove a lot of problems for Morgana. Although
Yeah,
both
and-
can't really do any, I don't think that either have any kill pressure on each other without the help of their junglers, because Morgana just black shields all of Galio's damage, and Morgana just binds Galio to walk away from him.
It's going to be really difficult for Leona to engage against Poppy with her W.
Yeah, I think that maybe an Enchanter might have been a little bit better in this situation. Maybe another Sona game, maybe a Nami actually. Nami actually would have been perfect for this comp.
Yep. So they actually banned Lulu by themselves. So
I don't think Lulu would have been the best choice either, because I mean Lulu also would have been really good, but I don't know if their support plays it. If Choldanu plays it, I don't think I've seen him. I remember just a lot of Pyke being played last split. Champion kind of strong. Good luck to both of these teams. I want to see a lot that's going on. And one thing while we're in the loading screen, one thing that I did do last split that since you're new to the casting team, this split, I want to ask you and everybody else watching, if you were in the world of Runeterra, where would you hail from in Runeterra?
I'll go for Bilgewater.
Why would you be from Bilgewater? What makes you say that?
I like the harrowing event every year.
The harrowing event is more of like the Shadow Isles is being really close and their influence
to
is spreading
Bilgewater.
on to Bilgewater and corrupting the hell out of it, which is fine. But these things happen. What I say right now is that what did I say? What did I say last time? If anybody in the chat remembers, I'm pretty sure I said it wasn't Ionia. It might have been. It wasn't Demacia, was it? It might have been Piltover. I don't remember.
Ionia is weak.
I don't know about that. Is that why they're still fighting back against Noxus? Because that's what I saw.
So you should be Ionia then.
Nah. I don't think I'm Ionia. Although my favorite champion is Riven and I do relate to her quite a bit, I don't think that I like Riven, because Riven is essentially Ionia at this point in the lore. So I'm like,
Thinking about it, I play a lot of champs in Freljord, so
no, I
Should've
can't deal
picked
with the
it.
cold. I hate the cold. And it's funny enough because most of the Freljord champions I dislike playing against either. But I'm not
33
from the
Kinder
Shadow.
says, who else thinks Brown is from the Shadow Isles?
Not that I would be from the Shadow Isles. I guess you're the only one who thinks I would be from there, because I would say Demacia or Piltover. Because definitely not Zon. Definitely not. Oh wait, no. The other one was Mount Targon. That was the one. That was the one, Mount Targon. I would be one of the, probably an aspect, if anything.
Bullying the god himself.
Yeah. I think I've proven myself to be one of those in this league, but that's besides the point. I just
So-
remember that one time when last split where during the caster game when that guy and I were together in the top lane, and he played Jax into my Riven, and it was we had a really good time. I'm just gonna say that you guys can go look at the VOD for it.
Before getting into the game, are you still comfortable or confident with huge minion? Or sorry,
Trigger happy?
Yeah, trigger happy.
I think that they can handle it. I'm a huge fan of the Leona Zac combo. It's a really strong combo, and then layer that on with Morgana CC, who's going to be building full damage anyway, along with Kai'Sa, who can shred their tanks, or who should be able to shred their tanks rather, and Aatrox, who just is pretty unkillable later into the game, and who's actually in a pretty good matchup to start, is going to work out well. So it's going to come down to how well the junglers, how Savape and Box Milk end up coming together to really pull it together for them. Because I think it's
Now,
fine otherwise.
Varus took the comment meaning he's going for lethality, and also Morgana took Dark Harvest. So
Which makes sense, because
yeah.
I think that with the Morgana's Dark Harvest, however, it'll take her time to scale into a viable keystone, but I also think it's not bad because you still get a lot of the secondary runes that you're going to need later into the game. Or even early into the game, because domination is really early game centric. Aside from Dark Harvest just scales a lot better than Electrocute is all. I wonder if we're going to see a 5-point strike, because that's really what I'm concerned with right now.
Taking a bit of a time to load. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how Poppy plays out. It's been a while since I saw her in my ranked queues or ranked matches, or even in normal games.
And here we go. We're right underway, starting this game off. I really want to see a 5-point start, but I don't think we're going to see it. Maybe, I don't know. We're spreading out a little bit. Do we get to see it? Almost. Not getting a perfect 5-point, but the attempt was made. I appreciate it. I very much appreciate the effort. You guys almost got it on both teams.
I think the ward is actually very good on the red side jungle for the cherry blossom or NG blossom.
Depending on how Savape path, and most likely will do the Raptors here as a second. It could really end up being a huge ward just to make sure that they know exactly where the jungler is and work out the timings of when Savape's Zac might be able to gank, because Zac is able to gank very early on in the game. And with it seems as though Box Milk is starting on his own Raptors, going to Road Red buff, he might go for an early gank into this top lane. I don't know how well that's going to work out, but the level 2 might turn into something. Maybe it might get a flash. We'll see how that works out.
Oh,
game
came
is
down.
paused. And it seems as though they're going to bring it back. The Kai'Sa did start, or did take the Halo Blades, which is the it's a different build than what we're used to seeing. I don't remember seeing the secondary. I would really hope it's precision, because you kind of need, not kind of need. I like seeing the no. Oh, they did take precision, but not the 2 that we're used to seeing. Because they went Bloodline and Cut Down, which I mean, I guess it makes sense given the matchup, because the Mordekaiser, the Galio eventually, the Kayn eventually, and the Poppy. So it's like 4 of those champions that it's going to be very effective against.
Yeah, Kai'Sa, Halo Blades, it's kind of meta for this season.
Yeah.
But
most run Presence of Mind with it to make sure that the what is it, the W,
Yeah.
W, the W upgrades. No, it's the Q upgrade. That's what that's for, because the extra mana feeds the mana immune. It's just gonna turn it. Hopefully, it turns into a farm lane in the bot lane, because Poppy just hard counters Leona. Gonna make it very difficult to engage on that.
Oh, good
See?
damage coming out of Kaisa though.
And like I said, the early gank coming from Box Milk into top lane, forcing out the flash from that guy, but it looks like he might be going down anyway. Ooh, almost. Not quite enough to get him. And looking back at the bot side, it
Zac
seems
is
as
still
though
taking blue, so Kane can smite it.
Box Milk has to be careful. His mana is not really high enough, but it was able to smite it away, which is weird because Savape had his own smite.
Yeah, I think they had a 1 level difference, so that could have made a difference there.
Quite possibly, but Troll the Noob and the Link and Duel are trying to step up. The Aftershock blown out and a lot of damage going on XDME.
Oh no, Gromp got reset.
Savape is really struggling with his first clear for whatever reason, aside from getting his blue buff yoinked from him.
At least they saw him on a ward, but I don't think that means something for now. Or anything.
Box Milk heading toward, sprinting towards the bot side of the map, trying to get this, make sure he gets the second Gromp. I mean the second crab of the game. Like securing both crabs, giving him quite a hefty lead on top of the extra buff.
XDME managed to put a very aggressive ward towards their red jungle.
So they will be able to see Savape yet again when he eventually crosses back across. Unless he takes a very out of his way route. But Box Milk and Oreo cookies are here in the jungle. Like the entire bot side is lit up now. There's no way for Zac to get in without going through lane. But it seems as though a fight is breaking out, unable to land the Q from
That's actually
Savape,
a nice
able to
play.
flash on him anyway and pick up the first blood, causing the death of Troll the Noob. But it seems as though if they keep kiting it, Kaisa might be able to pick off XDME, but she's just not kiting it back. I don't know why. Forcing out the revive. And Savape barely able to escape with his life, and Dual Impulse just playing a little bit too scared for my liking. But Ashan is here, keeping things nice and dandy here in the mid lane. Black Oreo cookies, cannon minions coming in, so might be looking to back here.
NG Blossom is actually looking into everything. As for what Jack is doing. Oh, actually.
Black Oreo cookies was able to catch out Savape there at the Raptors, and is now level 6 with a blue buff. Bot lane, Troll the Noob playing very aggressive, and actually will be able to pick up probably both kills if he keeps doing what he's doing now. A lot going down. Box Milk taking a lot of damage.
I can see that Catinator was trying to push the wave before he goes back, but that took him too long, I guess.
That guy now hitting 6, and I don't think that Aatrox can win it right now, especially if he gets hit by everything.
Galio's still holding TP with him, while Ishan burnt his TP to.
Yeah, or Cookie did a very good job of setting up the wave for him to back, and now he can do it again if he really wanted to TP now, because the cannon wave is the next wave coming in.
Savape trying to contest Scuttle. And actually, that guy is coming first.
They don't win. I don't think they win that 2v3 actually. If Galio gets a good taunt off, especially with
Galio's
Jeremy
ult cancelled.
Oh, but it looks like they're doing really well. XDME for some reason is up here in the top lane, ready for this fight. And with Jeremy Flip able to flash on an ult Ishan, so there's no way he's getting out of that. And that guy being forced to back out of that. But now that Troll the Noob is here, and it's way too late to do anything about that, even though it did come at the cost of Box Milk.
I think they knew that Galio still didn't go back to base to buy, so probably that's why they try to contest the scuttle there.
NG Blossom currently doing a very good job keeping everybody around, but Troll the Noob for some reason is engaging onto XDME here in the mid lane. And
this should be a solo kill.
Die here, and it actually might be able to kill that too. Oh yeah, they're gonna kill Oreo Cookies here as well.
So actually, Troll the Noob is actually making a lot of plays here.
Both of the supports are doing a lot of roaming, and and just getting the ultimate, able to CC him long enough to not die. And now they're gonna look towards this dragon. Sugar Happy looking there towards the dragon. That guy is being pressured off and hopefully can get back to his tower with. Nope, just Box Milk is fine. He's fine. Just farming out the Rift Herald.
Trigger Happy managed to pull off a lot of lead out of that fight.
But now it's going to become real interesting with Box Milk now having the Rift Herald. And Jeremy Flip opting to back here. Impulse is here in the bot lane against XDME, knowing that he's there, looking to back. Will get that back off. And the gold differences this game are not really that significant, except in mid lane, where it's about 800 gold difference right now. Even that guy is ahead currently with the extra CS in the kill. And in jungle, we thought that Box Milk was ahead, but it turns out Vape is actually ahead with 3 kills. Gold by about another 800. But with the gank coming in top lane, that might change very soon. That guy popping the ult, he can actually win that fight if he sticks to it, but does he opt for it? No! His Q was back up. Why didn't he fight that?
But NG Blossom still has some vision around enemy jungle, so they were able to see where the Jack is. But
Yeah,
Zach managed to pick up the Scuttlecraft.
Yeah, and like I said in mid lane, it's going to be a little bit boring to watch them because those two champions negate each other. There's no kill pressure here, so it's going to turn into a lot of farm lane without the jungler. The Black Shield wasn't quite up yet, but is able to get every single piece of CC off here, and it looks as though they might be able to get that away. I don't know why the Galio
survive.
The Galio ultimate giving him just enough of a shield to escape that. But it seems Savave just got his passive back, which means he's going to survive this too. And it's going to be enough to keep that alive. A lot of action happening bot lane. Leona engaging, hitting a very spicy ultimate, able to take down Cadenator. And it doesn't even matter that Impulse was knocked back by the Poppy ultimate because she just ults right back in.
Leona actually making a lot of plays this game.
This is the action I wanted to see. A lot of action going on. Cadenator able to complete the Umbral Glaive on that back despite the 3 deaths. And Kaisa, Dual Impulse was Kaisa almost at the gold needed to finish the Muramana. Or the Manamune, sorry.
Leona's kill contribution this game is insane, I would say.
She's got 6 out of the 7 kill participation. But on the flip side, Box Milk did complete his roster transformation. And now it puts Troll the Noob and Dual Impulse in a very bad position. If Impulse
teleport coming down
target,
from both sides.
Both teleports are coming in. Jeremy Flip able to pick off Troll the Noob, and it doesn't even matter because that guy's blasting in the back line, able to take down Box Milk and XDME at the same time, but it doesn't seem like he's getting much help here. So hopefully they step up and are able to stop them. I don't know why we're not fighting this. That's a 3v2 situation. Why are we running away? Or Galio is way too far away to do anything about that with no ultimate.
Trigger Happy managed to pull off the team fight yet again.
They managed to return it. Because remember,
Yeah.
they started off losing that fight by losing Troll the Noob.
That guy making a massive play right there.
So now he's going to be ahead. He has enough gold to finish off his Black Cleaver. Oh wait, no he doesn't. He just backed and did that, my bad. But he does have his 3 core pieces to all of the items he wants, which is Black Cleaver and Death Stance. Which is funny because it's like the exact same build that you would see most Riven players in. And it seems as though XDME in the perfect spot to cancel the Zac engage underneath the tower, but it seems as though Cookies is still going to get caught underneath the tower and die to the tower. The XDME's ult not enough to save him.
That was actually a lot of damage coming out from Aatrox.
In that last fight, yeah, that was a lot. He hit for like 600 on both of them because they hit the sweet spot of the 3rd Q.
So
and now
Drax should be
the mana or the mana immune. Now she's gonna start scaling really hard very quickly. Now with the extra AD coming from it. And already Troll the Noob making more things happen. The ult coming out and needs to get out of tower range if they're not gonna die from that. And they do. I love Leona. She's my favorite and my best support.
Yeah, that should be a free dragon for Trigger Happy.
It should be, and I don't think that Troll the Noob should back here.
And I like the fact that Morgana rotated to top now that she has teleport advantage.
And with the TP advantage, they should put there is a ward down, so they might just give up on that dragon. I don't think they should have went for that dragon at all. Because they did not have they knew that they didn't have vision of Jeremy Flip, so they should have known that he wasn't on that side of the map. Or they should have assumed that he wasn't on that side of the map, at least that's what I think. But this is fine. I think this is fine. They're gonna give up the first dragon to NG Blossom, which is a swing in there in the right direction for them. And Troll the Noob getting caught out here, and that guy here trying to make something of it, but is unable to. And with no Rift Herald to break this tower, we'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, the fact that NG Blossom manages to put pressure in terms of vision around enemy jungle is actually giving them some advantage and actually making up a lot of difference that they had from the team fight. Still, that pink ward is sitting in that bush on the blue side jungle. I think that ward was sitting there for quite a while now.
It's a very important ward to have. I'm surprised it hasn't been taken. Like even then, they just saw him over on that ward for like a split second, and now we see Box Milk here on the bot lane again. And they don't know about it. Leona missing the ultimate entirely, and both of them will be going down here without a doubt. Troll the Noob trying to make the best of it.
Yeah, actually, that ward on the blue side jungle giving them a lot of advantage. They could just engage like this because they know that Zac is on top side.
Mm-hmm. And it's a really sneaky move for Box Milk to sit in the middle brush for so long, and not realizing that bush was warded. That Troll the Noob stepped up into. But it's okay because they will be. It looks like they're going to trade that bot tower for the Rift Herald. But definitely not uncontested because there are 3 members of Blossom here to contest it. And for some reason that guy left to cover the mid rather than staying for the Rift Herald, which forces everybody off of it.
I think I think bot lane for Trigger Happy should have just come up to the Herald. They already knew that the tower is gone for bot lane.
Oh, a fight's still breaking out anyway. Cookie's getting caught out once again. The Mordekaiser ultimate used on Sevape, so Sevape is not in the fight at all. That guy able to take down XDME anyway, and they're looking towards Jeremy Flip. With Leona on there, there's no way he's getting away, and Leona was able to land the Zenith Blade into the backline to make sure that Cookies didn't get out of that either. Jeez. explosive fights everywhere. Huge fight for Trigger Happy.
Yeah, Leona got caught multiple times from a weird spot, but she's actually pulling off a lot of plays again.
Heal coming out and Box Milk making a lot of things happen. So Vape still has his passive, so I don't know why Box Milk is focusing that over the Kaisa, over Impulse's Kaisa, but they're really trying to fight for this Rift Herald.
Passive actually gone for Zac now.
That guy is running away from this fight. It is a 2v3 situation yet again with we don't know who's coming up. Choldanu probably going to be forced to sacrifice himself here if that guy does not put down significant damage. The heroic charge is back up for Poppy, can slam him into a wall, but Chu opts not to, and hopefully I think Blossom is looking towards his Rift Herald now that 3 members are forced to back from Trigger Happy. But Blossom is here with Ishan and Impulse, but lands a bind, no W to put down, putting down quite a bit of damage anyway.
That's actually a lot of damage from Kaisa.
Kaisa's on her way. She's almost finished her runes, and with the pickaxe done, her Q should be evolved, which it most definitely is. Because once she gets that Q evolved, she has a ton of damage on that. And for those who are unaware, if Kaisa's Q targets a single target, the fewer targets it hits, the more damage it does. So if it hits a single target, it actually just explodes health bars. It's actually disgusting. Which is what happened there. With like 2 autos. They are able to pick up the Scuttle Crab here on the bot side in front of the dragon. There is nothing happening just right yet because everybody's disengaging that.
Yeah, Trigger Happy is trying to get vision around drag so that they don't make the mistake that they made for the second drag last time. Teleport off for both laners on the Trigger Happy and also on the NG Blossom.
Yep, the Ocean Dragon is up and available. Second Rift Herald will not be taken this game, and the buffs are all over the place in terms of timers. So we'll see how this works out. Do they start this dragon? Is the question. The teleport is available from that guy and Ishan, so but Ishan is on his way to it anyway, looking to see if they can catch out Cookie prior, but that doesn't seem like that's going to work out too well for them.
I don't think this is a good idea to engage against Poppy here.
Engaging on a Poppy behind the second tier tower without all of the members here is not the move, but the teleports are coming in, and this is a forced fight that I don't think needed to happen. So it looks as though Trigger Happy's really about to get yeeted through this fight, but it seems as though that guy's winning against Jeremy Flip in his ultimate anyway, especially with his Q coming back up in a couple seconds. Nope. Coming out of the Death Realm in the middle of 5 people is definitely not what you want to see. But a little bit longer, and I think that guy might have been able to do it. But with the bind coming out, he actually is going to kill Jeremy Flip there. XDME looking for a heroic charge and not able to find it. Flashes on it and still doesn't find it. It pops an ultimate and dies anyway to Dual Impulse. But Dual Impulse is now in a perfect spot to getting hit by Box Milk is going to spell the end of him. He had a really good shot of killing them there. But now Ishan really needs to. Ooh. Yeah, nah, that didn't look too great with a 4v3 situation happening there. Because Savape was not quite there yet to make anything happen, so I don't think that was the move. But XDME was able to complete the Stone Plate as well as Dual Impulse's Rage Blade, so next fight's going to be even stronger for Kaisa.
Yep, but Varus also managed to pick up the Ghost Blade.
Varus picking up the Ghost Blade means that Eshan and Impulse have to be more careful. That guy not so much, because he does have quite a bit of, or a decent amount of armor on him with the Death Stance. I think what's interesting is how the damage split on both teams is actually really, really good, even though Trigger Happy is definitely more sided towards AP.
Kaisa's still sitting at 500 stacks on her mana immune, so
soon that'll be completed.
We're still looking at, I think, 5 more minutes, 4 to 5 more minutes until the completion of the Muramana.
I give it 3 if she continues farming the way that he's farming right now. But Impulse needs to get in the lane and just keep the timer rolling on that mana immune to make that go.
The Impulse is trying to avoid Vara's Qs by going to the bot lane at this point.
And only with a 1,000 gold difference, it's kind of difficult to see who's really coming out on top here. There's one tower in between, but Blossom does have the 1,000 gold lead, which doesn't really mean much in a team sense. Savape able to catch out Box Milk here a little bit, but who's really caught out with the Galio ultimate coming in as well as XDME. But that guy is here to get a huge three-man third Q, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. But Dual Impulse is here on the side and trying to focus XDME for some reason, who is a tank with Gargoyle Stoneplate, but it doesn't even matter because there's just so much going on that I can't even keep track of who's winning this fight.
Poppy actually managed to hit the heroic charge on Kaisa. Nice taunt from Galio.
He's taking the dub here in that fight, even though they only lost one person. Yeah, no, Blossom heavily won that fight, going 1 for 4 in a 4v5 situation, actually.
Yep. So that'll actually give them a free top tower as well.
And it seems as though Blossom is really, really trying to play their team fight well, and doing very well in playing their team fight to make sure that they're focusing the right targets, because it seems as though my team here, Trigger Happy, is having some focus issues.
I think Poppy did a really good play. She saw that the Black Shield was off, so she instantly went into Kaisa with the heroic charge.
No matter how dangerous that was, with only like 400 or 500 health left and 3 stacks of honor. Because if Kaisa gets 2 more autos off there, she dies. But she didn't, so it's a lot of limit testing going on. Not testing, but a lot of limit knowledge of what has happened there. XDME really showing why he's a good support. And now that he's building a Sunfire Cape, will have plenty of extra damage to work with. But it seems as though a lot of the attention is being shown from Blossom towards the dragon with all of the vision that they have around it. But it's like they also want to make sure that Baron is not being done in the meantime, despite having the crab there.
Varus picked up Edge of Night as well, now doing around 500 or more damage to Kaisa for every single Q.
And that Q is on an extremely short cooldown of 6 seconds. So every 6 seconds he can pull that bad boy out and just shoot somebody in the face, and as long as he can hit it, that's going to do a lot of damage.
So this drag actually should be free for the Blossom.
I don't know about free. The teleport is available from Jeremy Flip, so if Trigger Happy is able to finish the fight fast enough, they can contest this dragon and win the fight here. But it doesn't seem like they want it, because especially with Troll the Noob not here and it's being started, it's a lot.
Kai's actually backing, meaning that they know that the drag is gone.
Alright, they're not even going to go for the contest here, and which means that is a 3rd dragon going over to Blossom, to Team NG Blossom.
You don't want to see Mordekaiser with the Ocean Dragon Soul. He'll be jumping around enemies.
Ocean Soul in general is makes it very difficult for people with a lot of sustain to die. So you're talking about Kayn and Mordekaiser here are going to become absolute monsters, and they're going to sit there and easily bushwhack from Troll the Noob because there's not a single blue trinket, and they're just going to rout them here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Blossom controlling the vision exclusively to pick up this Baron.
I must say, XTME is pulling up her stat fest really well every single fight.
always coming really close and doing what they need to do. Are they just not gonna go for this, despite the Aatrox? Not really. I'm pretty sure that they could have just done Baron there, but I guess I'm wrong. I guess I'm seeing something differently than they are.
I think the Varus is not really good with taking down Baron when he goes lethality, so probably that's why. But still, like you said, it was really easy for them to take it.
That guy getting a little bit too overconfident, fighting into a spot where he doesn't have vision. Or enough of it, rather.
Whoa!
Ooh, that is a lot of damage coming from Oreo Cookie. Was actually able to take down Impulse there. XDME does go down, but it seems as though Box Milk is just going to phase through the wall and escape that.
Yeah, if Kaisa didn't go down, that could have been a Baron play for them, but...
I agree, it actually could have been. But now that the Leandries has been completed by Oreo Cookie, he's going to be doing even more damage than that, especially in combo, when he has like 6% for if he does the combo quickly, probably about 6% bonus damage.
Seems like Kaisa is going AD build in this game. She's not going for the Gnasher's Tooth.
No? I'm not sure how I feel about that.
And also the fact that she had to build Quicksilver, that's another disadvantage for her.
Oh yeah, definitely would have just went with the Zanyas if that were the case. Like, I don't know, like, because now what we see is Dual Impulse still doesn't have the E upgrade and is definitely not going to get the W upgrade this game.
Yep. That's why she's not doing any damage to Galio with the W.
That might be why they opted for that build, but we'll see how this turns out.
Seems like Trigger Happy is trying to push out the vision, but Blossom still has some vision around the blue side jungle.
And it seems as though they want to control vision, but without any blue trinket, it's going to be really difficult to face check into all of these. Oh, they do have a blue trinket on the Aatrox, but that's really not enough for the position they're in. A lot of pings coming down here into the mid lane. Seems like they want to hit a 5v5 fight here, but they're going to need somebody to hard engage this fight, and they can't do it underneath their tower.
I'm not
they might
sure.
try to do it here, but a huge arrow coming out, almost taking down, or not taking down, but doing a lot of damage to Yashan.
I'm not sure if Kaisa will be able to
Stone
chunk out Poppy in this in any fight.
Well, now they will,
Actually-
because they already used the stone plate, and now the Zac passive comes out. Kaisa putting it, shooting from the backline, standing too far back, trying to get it done. Does go down. They do have plenty of front line, and Aatrox is just not getting focused down at all, able to actually win that fight really hard. Now, this is exactly what I was trying to say before, where the team fight from Trigger Happy was absolutely amazing. So, what we did see was all of the ultimates being used at once, yes. But when you think about how they have to focus several champions, and with Zac and Morgana just sitting in the middle, especially now that she's got, oh, she just didn't go Zanya's at all, but so I don't know how she actually survived that. But with the double stuns going out and Aatrox being as huge of an issue as he is, it's just they just didn't have enough damage, even with Jeremy Flip there on the other side.
I think Poppy was disrespecting the damage potential from Morgana. She has to remember that Morgana is actually a mid laner with the full
Not
damage build.
Not only that, but XDME also popped the Gargoyle Stone Plate very early. So XDME did not have it when they got pulled into the middle of it. But now with the Posturing for Dragon, able to put down quite a bit of damage on XDME, not committing for that last proc of the Kaisa passive, having Knight's Vow and Zeke's on a very strong Kaisa at this point, despite not having any AP in the build.
Ultimates are still down for both
the
sides.
ultimate coming off from Catnator. The Leona ultimate going out, not stunning anybody. A lot of big abilities being used, but it doesn't seem like anything's happening. Kaisa able to put down some half-decent damage onto Box Milk, but it seems like both sides are just trading back pot shots at each other. Doesn't seem to like a lot is going on, but XDM is like trying to fight for the vision of this bush to see if he can get off a good heroic charge. But that guy does have teleport available, and the fight's starting off anyway. So what?
Again, tons of damage coming out of Morgana.
No Morgana coming down immediately. A Galio ultimate being huge, but not huge enough. The team fight, and now Kaisa is just going to be able to delete Catinator with no auto attack damage whatsoever. And Black and Savape getting way too overconfident with that by jumping onto the Galio with 200 HP. But it doesn't matter because now Trigger Happy does get to finish that off anyway. And for some reason, there's a TP coming in.
They have to remember that they picked Varus, so they should have just poked for a while and then wait until he chunks out some damage or some HP out of their enemy team.
And the biggest part about this is that they use the TP to start the Baron early. So now they're really trying to push this. If Leona has her ultimate, she should definitely use it here just to make this a lot quicker.
And again, Morgana is actually doing a lot of damage against.
And they're doing this with no jungler. So the only person here right now is XDME. And it looks like they're just going to get the Baron as well. That was a huge call, definitely one that I would not have made. But that is a huge swing back towards Trigger Happy, who was actually down for a majority of this game and is now right back in it. With the Baron advantage as well. Looking to team fight. Now they're playing to their strength of their team fight. It's going to be very difficult. This is why I was saying that the on-hit build might be better this game, because it's just going to be from Catinator's Varus, but they opted for the lethality, and now they have to play it accordingly. And so far, it seems as though Trigger Happy is good at forcing them into not allowing that to happen. That guy's in a perfect position to 1v1 Jeremy Flip, so I don't really know why Jeremy Flip is trying to 1v1 him here, but let's see if that fight actually turns out into being something.
Actually, Blossom managed to rotate earlier.
But that guy, it doesn't even matter. He's got so much lifesteal and they don't have anything to stop him. I don't know why Impulse just ulted on that.
That death dance is just so disgusting.
Along with the level 16 healing. They really need to do something about Box Milk before he's in there, but it doesn't matter because he goes down first. Yeah, they don't have the tools to stop that guy's Aatrox right now, because Aatrox just as a champion is just too strong with that much healing, and to not have any healing going into him, healing reduction. I mean, although Jeremy Flip did have the healing reduction, it literally did not matter.
I wanted to say, Poppy has Boots of Mobility instead of Merc Treads, so if she gets binded by Morgana, she's gonna be binded for forever.
If she gets touched by anybody, she's also just gonna straight up lose the movement speed. Which is why a lot of support players have been opting into not taking Boots of Mobility anymore, and myself included.
Especially when they nerfed the boots, basically, by increasing the price of it.
By 100, yeah. And it just made Boots of Swiftness that much better. Which is where I would be. And wow, Troll the Noob is even, I guess, like picking up pages from my book, because they're picking up the Redemption right now.
Varus is still doing a good damage against Kaisa, but I'm not sure during the team fight if he's going to be able to put that much damage.
Well, we saw in the last fight that his auto attack damage was non-existent when he was fighting Kaisa. He was 1v1ing Kaisa, trying to 1v1 Kaisa at the end of the fight that ended up in Trigger Happy's Baron, but it did not matter because Kaisa's auto attack damage and attack speed was just way too much for the lethality Varus, whose damage primarily comes from his Q.
And not much armor built on Kayn and Mordekaiser, so as soon as Kaisa gets the IE, she's going to be able to chunk out everyone.
And that's just how Kaisa is. Like, she is on. I personally believe that Kaisa is the hardest scaling AD carry in the game right now.
I will still prefer building AP as Kaisa, but still. And questionable Sonya or time.
I mean,
stopwatch coming down.
But it also kept XDME in a very bad position there, getting caught there. And like Trigger Happy early into the game, now it is NG Blossom that is making all of the mistakes in terms of vision control. They had a lot of the vision control early into the game, and now that they've lost it. But this Baron did not seem to get a whole bunch of value. No big team fight seemed to happen because of it. And nothing
Mordekaiser
was really
is pushing top, so he'll be able to pick up the top tier 2 turret. But there's
Something
not
needs
much.
to happen. Or they're just going to lose this tower for free, even though they're looking towards this dragon. Now that we're in a 37-minute game, hitting almost a 37.5-minute mark, or almost hitting the 38-minute mark at this point. Now we have all of the members except for the top laners here, but TP is available from both top laners, so we will see if that ends up being the case, which is most likely going to be the case with Jeremy's.
He managed.
Boxmilk was able to not only steal the Baron, but get away with his life.
Now,
Just the smite not being used from Zavabe.
This game is gonna look a little bit different now that Blossom took the Ocean Drake soul.
Oh yeah, because like we said earlier, if they were to get the Dragon Soul, the Ocean Dragon Soul, Mordekaiser and Kayn are going to be absurdly difficult to kill. And if looking at the build right now, there is not a shred of healing reduction that they now have to build in order to stay relevant to keeping them down. Either that or just burst them hard enough. But a lot of these fights are long and drawn out, so I'm not sure if they'll be able to win fights like that anymore.
Yeah.
Until
Only we're gonna, or actually, Thornmail and Nomicon should do some reduction, but Kaisa should build the Executioner fairly soon at this point.
She's not going to be able to if you.
Yep.
If she finishes the Quicksilver and the IE. But Troll the Noob did opt into the redemption, which means that his team will be alive a lot longer. Which might be enough, if used properly, to match the Ocean Dragon's healing.
Yeah, I personally feel like Ocean Drake is one of the most busted Dragon Soul in the games as of now.
I mean, you regenerate almost 250 health over 4 seconds. And 110 mana over 4 seconds. Which continually procs while you're in combat. And even though the effect is only 30% against minions and monsters, it's still more than enough to keep somebody alive. If after a fight, in case like for a Baron or something. But it seems bot lane, Ashan and Dual Impulse are able to catch out Oreo Cookies here, and he will be going down there to Impulse's Kaisa. But on the flip side, we do have a fight threatening to break out, but it seems all 3 tanks are here, or both tanks and the Bruiser are here to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Morgana still has teleport with her, so.
But the Baron was started even without the help of Morgana. Yeah, I was like, that's a risky move. But Leona, Troll the Noob's Leona does hit a very big ultimate on XDME, which forces the Aatrox way out of the fight, but he will be able to quickly come back and take down Boxmilk. But Zavabe's Zac is still here and is looking to see if he can pick up any more, but it might be forced out of his with his passive. But it seems Jeremy Flips Mordekaiser was able to take Ishan again into the Death Realm, with the Zanya's guaranteeing that he will actually get out of there. Bind going down, and everybody's so healthy except for Zavabe, who does have his passive here, who's looking to engage this but doesn't seem to get that. Everybody starting to get low on the side of Trigger Happy, and this is exactly what we were talking about, where the Varus just comes in and snipes people on the back after a fight's been won. Leona ultimate back up again. It's on a very, very short cooldown of 48 seconds, and this fight is not over.
Trigger Happy knew that Blossom has Ocean Soul, so they could have just go for Baron instead of putting more aggro.
I think that they played it well up until the very end. Right after, like when they started chasing that far into Blossom's jungle, I felt like that was where they started losing the fight, because that gave them a lot of time to heal up while they were fighting, because nobody could touch the Varus in the back, and he was able to just pop off several very strong Qs that actually shredded the team in the choke point.
Yep, and Mordekaiser can literally tank forever with his shield and Ocean Drake, so...
And once again, this game is still not over. 42 minutes, and we are just now seeing the second Baron of the game.
The only way out for Trigger Happy is to take the Elder Drake at this point. It's just going to spawn in a minute and a half.
It's crazy right here. Like, there's a lot going on. So now with the Baron buff and the Ocean Dragon Soul, I don't think that Trigger Happy wants to fight right now. I think they want to hold this and see what they can come up with in terms of how they're going to deal with these champions. Now that everybody is getting towards their full builds, with the exception of Kane for some reason, who's really far behind in terms of build. I guess because his build is just that expensive. Yeah, it is actually just that expensive of a build. His tank items are absurdly cheap. Most tank items ranging under 3k. Meanwhile, Death's Dance and Black Cleaver all being, and even Spirit Visage being a 3,000 item. Black Cleaver and it's a lot. That's a lot. The Vision being fought over, abilities going back and forth. A W landing on to Catinator takes him really low. So now it looks like they can just press the go button and they're going for it. Zac unable to find it with the Poppy there, but it seems like that guy's popping off here in the back line. Cookies is forced to stay out of the fight and ult back into it. But it doesn't seem like that was the move here. Oh, maybe it was, because Zac's back again. And Troll the Noob takes down XDME. Jeremy Flip taking down Impulse from the positioning, and the fight, I guess, took too long, and now it's taking them, and now it looks like Troll, it's all up to that guy to be able to turn this fight around, but he's just unable to. But it's like we said before, it's going to be absurdly difficult for them to finish off Jeremy Flip.
They're trying to finish the game by teleporting into top lane.
Oh yeah, they'll be able to finish the game here, it looks like, because that minion wave, especially with the Baron minions pushing into top lane, they should be able to finish the game with 30-second death timers on pretty much everybody.
Again, that Ocean Drake Soul managed to heal up most of the damage during the fight.
And they're doing it the right way, where they're tanking it and tanking the towers. Yeah, the game is over. They're going to do it.
I must say it was close. But
oh yeah, it was a lot of flip-flopping back and forth between these two teams. But really, I would say that if I were to give the MVP right now, I would give it to XDMA right now.
Yeah, her stat fest was on point every fight. She had some issues with Morgana, but every team fight
a lot of every team fight got a lot of value out of the root.
And again, Mordekaiser managed to tank literally forever with the Ocean Soul Drake.
And they spent a lot of resources on Boxmilk's Kane, but it was like, even like spending that many resources on him, they had to do that in order to take him out. But it was just like with the other damage sources of Catinator and Jeremy Flip on the Mordekaiser and the Varus, it was just, and then Cookie can't count out Cookies either, because his build allowed him to just explode anybody he charged onto.
Yeah, at this point, I started to wonder if things could have been different if Kaisa built AP instead of the build that she chose.
Not only that, but if the smite steals, there were 2 smite steals that game, really putting Sevape on a pedestal of shame there. But these things happen, and it was a good game of well played all around. And hopefully, I think we're getting an interview with XDME.
Yep, the Dragon Soul Steel was definitely what made this game.
Yeah, it was looking really strong up until then.
Hello.
Hello. Is this XDME, right? Yeah, this is XDME. Cool. I was right. All right, take me through this game. Like with how much flip flopping back and forth, how much were you sweating?
Quite a bit, especially because we feel like we should just be able to win these games, but we're still a relatively new group of 5 players playing together. We haven't actually put a lot of scrim time in yet, so
Mhm.
we're hoping we iron out these problems as the season goes.
So, and I hope they do, because it's like that was a fun game to watch with kills going back and forth, and all of the action that was just happening across the map in general. So where did you what was the point in the game where you and your team said, hey, we can kind of just start team fighting. We can just start taking fights out of nowhere? Because there were a couple times where you did get caught out. We're not going to talk about that so much, but but I really want to focus on where your team felt the confidence to just take fights.
It wasn't so much the confidence, but the moment where we sort of called out our mistake. It was nothing really happened, but it was when Oreo, our Galio, got caught in bot lane with 2 people, and we didn't do anything. And I called out right then. I'm like, yo, we need to be more bloodthirsty. We can't keep playing scared. We need to fight. And I think at that point we started looking for a lot more fights.
Now, do you think the game would have been any different had you guys had Box Milk not picked up stolen the dragon from them for Soul?
There's a good chance we just lose because they outscale, and they outscale quite hard. And even with that soul, you saw how close that fight is, and that's with one of the most powerful souls in the game on a team comp that's really beefy. So if we didn't have it, we'd probably just actually lose the game.
Yeah, I was keep saying that the Mordekaiser was tanking forever with that soul.
Yeah, the soul definitely won us the game.
Because it was going to be between the Mordekaiser and the Aatrox, who out sustains who, because they were both sustaining absurdly hard. But
oh yeah.
Now, where do you see your team going in this? Because this is a good indication of what's happening so far, and especially after watching today's games. Do you how do you feel you stack up against the other teams?
Right now, I think we got a lot of work to do, but I think if we can hit our full potential, we can take first.
Okay. I think Iron Dragons is gonna have something to say about that as last season's champ. So I'm very I like the confidence. I like to see these kinds of things. Any other questions you got, my friend over here?
No, I think
actually, I was interested to see your Poppy support pick. I understand that they picked Leona and Zach, but still, it's a really unusual, so to say.
It's a pocket pick. I don't pick it very often. I have 2 ranked games on it, I think. But it's in this case, I picked it as a pseudo thresh essentially, because I needed something to stop Zach from getting onto our back line and something that wouldn't lose to Leo too hard in lane. And they also had an Aatrox. They had a lot of dashes when we picked the Poppy. It also served as a potential flex, because we could have done a lot of stuff with Mordekaiser potentially going mid or Poppy jungle, Kane top. It served as a flex, but it was overall just a counter pick to the Zach and Leona for the most part.
And I was a huge fan of the pick when it started, even though my money was against your team, but for reasons outside of my control. But
yeah, I must say your W was always on point, blocking enemy engage. I was really impressed.
I'm sure Savape was just not having a fun time trying to get to your back line. The number of times you absolutely rooted him in place and just made sure he wasn't as useful as he could have been was huge in team fights. So I thought the synergy between you guys was great. But what did you say? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think
in terms of team fighting.
I think our team fighting was all right. I think the issue that we're sort of struggling to get on top of is mostly just starting fights and looking for offensive plays. I think like I'm the voice looking for the slow small leads, and we just need to find a voice looking for like the big fights.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there you have it, everybody. After a grueling almost 45-minute game, we have the conclusion of Trigger Happy versus NG Blossom to finish off today, which is week 1, day 1 of the Ascendant League series. We will be back tomorrow at the same time, starting off with Iron Dragon versus Abusement Park, which Abusement Park has already issued the challenge against Iron Dragon at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So until then, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for the interview, XD. And I am once again rounding on him with my co-caster.
Life Feather.
There you go. There you go. There you go. You're getting it. You're getting it. And we will see you all in the next one.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone.